So really attractive screenshots of all of us, right? Okay, so with the class meetings, it's under the syllabus link, and I keep editing that too to add them. So what's left, this is obviously December the 3rd. I was planning on doing one on Saturday morning, and then Monday at that 5 o'clock time. I might have to adjust that time slightly because I'm supposed to be in another meeting then. So I will send out an announcement today. It might have to be like later in the evening. I know that I was trying to put those times in there for people that work, like Mel, I know she works full time. So, and then Thursday the 10th, which is next week, would be your final presentation of your project. And then I'll give you a few more days to get it all completed. I know there's another week of school after that. So if we need to, I would kind of like to wrap things up so I can be grading that last week, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. So is this schedule going to work for all of you to get in what you need to get in? Oh, we can make it work. I mean, I can adjust the time too. I kind of want to do it first thing in the morning so I don't like go off and forget that we're supposed to do it. Yeah, you know, we can be flexible on that. It's okay. You know, the point is showing your work, getting the feedback, and so we could. Would that help you out if we started at 8:30? Okay. Okay. So let's change it right now. 8:30. So we'll start at 8:30 a.m. in person, and then why don't I? Oh, whoops! Sorry, wrong day. I changed. Here, 8:30, and then for Monday, the 7th, I'm pretty sure. Why don't I just go ahead and change that right now? I can. Mel can usually do it in the middle of the day at lunchtime. Would that work for people? I mean, would that help people out, a midday Monday? If it works for a lot of people, maybe I'll just set it for noon. Okay, so that doesn't matter to you? Okay, oops, what happened? Okay, so I'm just gonna set it for 12 o'clock, and then if we need to add more, then we will. Okay, so remember, you can see what critiques you've participated in. I just, after each one, I just update. There's like critique 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns in the grades area, and then I just add another digit after you do another one. You probably have looked at that. Okay, so I'm done talking. You guys, Olivia, if you want to go first, or I don't really care. I just want somebody to go first, and then should use a piece of paper here. Yeah. Okay, my app was a book club app. Exciting as that sounds.
So it would be a app for anybody who would want to join a book club, but who wouldn't be able to necessarily like have a meeting every week or every 2 weeks, like physically, but still get the benefits of being able to be in a book club to learn about other people's thoughts on the same book that you're reading. Kind of went over this in our last critique that I was in. I was wondering if it was okay for like the competitive analysis. There literally is no other apps, but there are some websites. Can I use that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I found a few of those that I need to put in there. So this is my flow chart. It's pretty basic. I'm going to do a hamburger style menu. I didn't know, like, I didn't want like another drop down menu when it comes up, so that would just be on the page. So like if you click my profile, it would give you other options or other paths to take from there. I didn't know if I had to show that or not.
I think that would be obvious when you start to do your wireframes.
Okay. And then I just did a few like really
That's great.
awful scenarios.
This is perfect.
Okay.
This is, what she's doing, if you guys haven't done this before, is creating user scenarios. So she's trying to see how, like, think about realistic tasks that people would take and what is the path. And this is great because, it's what you've done is absolutely clear visually, and you're thinking through it. And did things come up when you're like?
Oh yeah, I mean, this helped a lot. So I've already decided I'm going to make some changes since I've drawn these, but like the first scenario I thought would to be find a member of an already existing joined book club. So a book club that you're already in, you just want to see the members. So, login screen or sign up, that's only like a one-time thing, so I didn't add that in. So just do the hamburger menu, and then these are just the options on the menu, and you just click my book club, and then it'll show like all the joined book clubs, and then you can click on those book clubs, and then more options come up, and you can just click on members, and then that's where it shows up. I mean, so far that was all right. The second scenario, join a local book club. Again, push the hamburger menu, join new, and then from there you can decide like what type of book club you want to do. So if you do local, then that has the option of meeting in person. Or if a certain book you want to use or read, if there's if you have a friend that's in a book club and you know their username, so you can join that book club, or you could create your own. And then I just did for the location, you just would put in your zip code, and then it would show all the existing book clubs in your area. And then if you click on the book club, it would take you to those book club pages and where you can find out more about the members and how often they meet and discussions and stuff like that. Then if you'd like to join, you just click the join button. So that's only 2. I'm still figuring out some other ones that I have. That's all I have so far.
What did you learn by doing these scenarios? Like, what came to it? Like,
well, just the visualization for me, like actually seeing it on a page, it shows that like when I go back up to like my wireframe, that like for new book club, like I really just need new book club, and then from there, it gives you all the options. It wouldn't be in the menu because this is just for the menu, right?
Right.
Okay.
But, there are features under those sections, like new book club, well, what about if you want to start your own? It seems like they're 2 different things. You can join something that exists, or you can create a new one.
Okay.
So I don't know if that, what do you guys think? Should that be a separate heading? Like create a new, I think you create a book club.
And then join.
Or join a book club.
Okay, so I can just make another tab for that.
I would think that those are 2 different, pretty different tasks.
Okay.
And then, some of the things you might want to, like for example, my account and my profile, I'm not sure how those would be that different.
I thought it would be like your public profile, what people can view your stuff, and then this would just be like your account settings.
Okay.
I didn't like password, change your password, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Boring stuff.
I think those could probably be grouped in one area, and you might want to designate that a little bit differently in your flowchart, as because those are kind of like administrative tasks, as opposed to the things you're going to do. You're going to create one, you're going to join one, or you're going to check in with your different book clubs. So I think one of the user scenarios you probably need to think about next is like, okay, I'm a member of a book club.
Mhm.
What are the kinds of things that I might do with this app to either manage my book club or participate? And I think that's going to get a little bit more robust in there.
Right.
So this user scenario process that you're doing
It's
is
gonna
going to come back and inform this flow chart that you've created up there.
Yeah, I can see that happening already. So
Yeah, but it's good. You need to go through this process because it helps you really think through it. And then when you
Right.
do your interface design, it's actually based on something. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's based on legit planning.
Mhm.
So I think it's coming along. And you may start to think you're starting to see repeated screens here in this user scenario.
right.
I personally, when I'm doing design work, I like to do it. I can't do it all at one time. I have to be able to go back and look at it later because I see different things the second time.
Mhm.
So since you're starting to see some of these screens that you know you're going to have, and what does the assignment say? Fully mock up one user scenario or something like that.
Mhm.
You might start playing around with Photoshop and start to think about your type and your background color and actually mock it up. And then you give yourself the luxury of having a week or so to come back and look at it and tweak it and,
Right.
and really refine it and make
Okay.
it look really cool.
Okay.
So I think you're getting close, and you can kind of keep. I would start with your interface design and then keep coming back and finishing up this part as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
And make sure that I didn't see your competitive analysis, but make sure you make a very clear case as to why this needs to exist.
Okay.
And whether you're using a website or an app, if you're competing things, it's fine.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Do you guys have any comments? A book club? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about, this is just a little detail, but maybe some of these book clubs are public or private.
Oh, that's good.
Sort of like a Facebook group. You can join certain Facebook groups, but you have to get permission from the administrator.
Okay.
So you might want to think about.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
When you mock up, creating, establishing a new book club.
Okay.
And then when you're joining a new book club, what the process may be a little bit different if it's public or private.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, good. Okay. Is anybody online there, Olivia?
Nope. Just me, yeah.
People with that cord. It's the big computer. You could log me out of World Classroom. I'll
Yeah, I just.
Don't worry.
Okay, so I was gonna do that thing where I was doing like the videos and stuff, and kind of like bringing together like a Netflixy kind of thing. But just when I was thinking about it and like I was trying to work on it yesterday, it's just a very broad thing that's kind of doing too much, and everything you're doing is accessible at other places. So I kind of thought about other things that are like similar interests, but a little different. And another thing that I like to do is like I collect cards, so like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or like different games. And in order to do that, a lot of times you like trade with other people, but that's a really hard thing to find to do. So I thought about maybe doing something where I could do that. And I was looking, and there's not really anywhere to do that or like to communicate with other people about specific games and things like that. There's no forums or anything like that on the app. So I decided to make like a forum app instead that's more of a community to communicate instead of like a database. So I said I want to make an app that allows like TCG, trading card games, and manga or cartoon fans to like communicate and interact with one another, to talk about these things or to like collect, trade, share their own stuff. And it's just the target audience is fans of those kind of things. I want to have an app that it's kind of like, so there's a website that kind of has some of the stuff I want. It's called this Pojo site. It's not an app or anything. It's online, and there's not even a mobile version or anything. So to do it on your phone would kind of be a pain. But I want it to be something where it's forums, but it can be accessed and like viewed by like moderators. So I want it to be run by the people that use it. I want them to be able to add their own forums or, to make changes. But I want there to be able to be moderators that can look at it and have power to get rid of something if it's not good, or that are experts on what they're talking about. And those would be like people, just other users, but like you'd probably have to do some kind of something that would show that you know what you're talking about. So like a registration or a little, I don't know exactly how he's working on stuff. Yeah, so I use that. I haven't talked a whole lot about the other sites, but so this is one of them. And like trying to see that on a mobile phone would kind of be terrible.
It's also super busy.
Yeah.
The design is horrible.
Yeah. So like, and then I found a couple other, these are like, this is more of a forum one, this Tap Talk. But it's really confusing and really, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. Same thing for all the other ones I found that were different kind of things. So the thing that would make this an app that people want is there would be something that is easy to use, something that you don't really get anywhere else on a mobile phone. And that's about all I have so far. I was working yesterday and I just kind of was brainstorming. So I was trying to think about how to draw it, and I'm getting frustrated.
Did it help seeing what Olivia has done?
Yeah, looking at that, I have some ideas.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and make the wireframe first, and then try and get some scenarios of how it would work, and then hopefully that'll help me figure out how I want to make it.
What I love is that you guys have some really specific niche interests.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing.
And it's great because it's like you have the power to build some of these things and make some of these things in using these digital tools, but then you're also bringing these like very niche, and I think combining that, I mean, just like you guys know, I'm really into embroidery, and I've got an embroidery website and all that kind of thing. There aren't a lot of people in the embroidery industry that are like selling the designs and stuff that can also build a website and promote themselves and all the things that I'm able to do because I have that skill set. So I'm just excited about you making connections with these very specific interests that you have and that are niche-y, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards, like what? But you also can actually do something with that. So keep that in mind. That's very special, I think it's really cool.
Someday this could be a real thing.
Yes, that's the point. I mean, you have not many people have that unique combination. Yeah. So you should take advantage of that. You need to exploit that. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's really niche-y. I'm questioning whether you even need the forums. I mean, maybe this is just an app for people that want to trade collectibles of in this genre.
Yeah.
It's a collectible. How cool would it be if you could somehow create a, there are people that are looking for things and there are people that want to get rid of things. You want to buy, sell, trade, right? So let's say I'm looking for this one Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't know. But I put some kind of an alert out there, like I'm looking to buy or trade or whatever. This is what I'm looking for. And all of a sudden you're sitting there in class and you get an alert through your app that says so-and-so posted one. And you're and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it argues for why you need it to be an app, because these things could come up at any time and you want to be able to say, yeah, I want to buy that.
Yeah. And that probably makes sense because forums can be kind of wordy.
Well, I think in this mobile platform, I mean, you got to think about what I think that the app would be interesting enough just to facilitate the buying and selling of collectibles in this niche area.
Mm-hmm.
If do you think?
Yeah,
like something will like notify me when someone.
These push notifications are awesome.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I think that that's what actually what
yeah. So maybe you go in this whole idea that you seem a little bit confused about how you're going to handle the forums and who
Mhm.
gets to manage them. I don't know if you need them. I mean, maybe there's something like I like apps that I like my Etsy app because when I sell something on Etsy, I get an alert on my phone and then I can renew my item or communicate with the buyer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool is if they're having trouble accessing the files, or maybe they bought something where I give it to them for free, I can go to my Dropbox app, copy the link, and then paste it into I can do so much business through the whole app. But anyway, I'm digressing. I think that apps that can be push notifications for an industry that you're interested in is really great. But also, there is something to be said for apps that have like a news feed where you could kind of like just scroll through it. So maybe you could have like a simplified version of the forum where maybe if you're really into this, what kind of, you might not have posted a notification that you're looking for a specific Yu-Gi-Oh card, but maybe you can look at the feed of what trades and sells, and maybe you can look at that kind of the activity. Maybe it's an activity feed that you scroll through if you're just kind of curious about.
Okay.
To get a sense for, because then you can see what things have sold for what, and as a trader, that's valuable information, right? So I think it's a cool idea to simplify it.
Okay.
For sellers, seller app. That's awesome. And then you sell something with numbers. Jamie, you want to log in? Okay. Oh, I also wrote down for you, Ian. I would be with your competitive analysis, be more specific about the pros and cons.
Yeah, well, I am. I did that kind of way last time.
No, I know, but you need sure that you look at them closely.
I'll probably pick like different
Yeah. And one of the kinds of details is it's everything.
Yeah.
This is, you're not interested in sorting through, machinery and firewalls and whatnot. This is, specific to this particular industry. So are any of you guys worried about getting on your 15th? No. Okay, go ahead, Judah.
So I only changed, I only updated my competitive analysis and flowchart. So I focused more on apps, like you said, and the first app I saw was it's called Secret Camera Recorder. So it records without people knowing that you're recording. So I thought it would be a good, I like that touch for my app because say like you're looking at the live feed of the inside of your car and the outside, you know, just checking on it, and you don't want people like walking around to know what you're doing or to know what you're looking at. So you could change like the settings of on your app. So either like the transparency, only you could see it, and so everyone else won't, or it was something else, or yeah, I think that was I thought it was something else with it. I think that was the only part about it. So you can basically change the privacy of it. The cons were it was a lot of pop-up ads, and the setup wasn't exactly clear. I found myself kept pressing buttons just to figure out what was going on. So for my app, it would definitely be like straight to the point, so you know like what's going to happen. And the next app I saw was a night vision, and I thought that would be really, I wanted to keep that part for my app because say your car could, at night, the camera could be recording inside your car throughout the night, and it can pick up thermal heat and like different movement, so you can see like what's going on, like what's around your car at night. And I kept this this app. I feel like because you can see like different views, so I don't want to just look inside of my car. I want to be able to check outside too. So this like was an added touch where you can look around in different views. And then here's my flow chart. When you download the app, you do have to register. So like so that's why if you're a member, if you're not a member, you'll register, and you'll just put in like whatever the code is that's on the device or whatever. But if you are, then you log in, and there's different but there's three different buttons on the home screen, and that's the live video, the alerts, and the settings. If you want to go into the live video, then there's once you go into live video, you'll be able to see the default setting of like your car. So say the default setting is inside of the car. So once you press live video, you will see the inside, but there'll be three little boxes underneath where you could look around, so the side or like in the front. And there's also the main views where if you're inside of your car and you want to look on the outside, then you press the exterior. And then the alerts, it'll just send like message, like say for instance your window breaks, so it'll say like passenger window is broken, or broken into. And then that's where you can go back into your live video and click around to see. And also settings is where you will be able to change the privacy of, and you can manually set the night vision. So usually you could you can set like when you will want the night vision to come on, or if you just want to turn it off completely, you can. And that's about it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I can actually like 25 hours and figure it all out. Like, by this point, I really like easily see it. It's simple. You go in, like you can realize, you know, what is really good at.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do that. I don't want to cut you off. With the filter, I would just, let's see my thing here. But let's see if I can explain on the board here. Oh, okay, cool. So after you log in, instead of making it look like a linear progression, I would change the flow chart to show that you have choices, as opposed to you have to go through. So I would just, does that make sense to you guys? You know, you have a choice to look at live video, alerts, or settings. So I would just render that slightly differently. I'm thinking that, let's say right there. I think that this could be very versatile, and you could use this app to monitor multiple cameras. And so think about it. Let's say I use my app, and I not only want to be able to check the video feed from my car, I also want to have it be watching my baby who's sleeping in a room. You know what I mean? So under camera views, under live video, I feel like it'd be cool to have what am I monitoring? So I might have camera 1, baby room, and then under there you might have two views or whatever. Okay. Camera 2 is out at my car, and there might be other views there. Okay. With that said, it feels like this app should, you need to be able to go set up cameras, right? Yeah. So you need to be able to say, okay, I want to start monitoring the bathroom. I don't know, whatever. You know, you need to be able to say, okay, I need to connect my app to this camera. So you're probably going to need to modify your flow chart to, like, maybe it would be under settings or like new camera setup, where you establish, you label your views, and somehow the app is able to sync with that particular camera. Yeah. I don't know how it works. I don't care how it works, but just that's a task that you would have to do if this app is going to, you know, communicate with the camera. So think about that. Maybe mock up that as a user scenario. I just got a new camera and I want to start monitoring something new. What steps am I going to need to go through on my app to do that, to establish that connection? I'm going to have to label it. I'm going to have to, and then with the alerts, I think it's kind of, I don't know too much about like video analysis or anything like that, but probably there's technology there that would, if there is a major, like if I'm just filming something, right, the pixels that it's capturing are pretty much similar to the previous set of pixels that it's captured, right? Because nothing is happening. If I bet that the app could analyze, and if they saw a big change, like a major change in what the pixels look like 1 second ago versus that, it could detect where there's activity in the feed. You know what I mean?
Can you explain that?
So like, I'm filming this wall, and I'm going to film it for 2 minutes. Nobody's walking by. It's a pretty boring video. And the pixels at moment A, you know, that I'm capturing are not going to be much different. Like the makeup of pixels at a frame of the video at a given moment in time are not going to be that different than the pixels 2 minutes later, it's, assuming nobody's walking through the screen. But if someone were to walk through the screen, or maybe somebody's throwing a rock at my car window, that moment in time, there would be a major change in what the camera is capturing. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
So those alerts could have, at 10:47, we had a major change in the screen. You could look at that moment in time, go back and look at those moments in time where there are major changes.
Okay.
So I think this technology is actually, what you're proposing is not unrealistic and is not all that complicated. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote down monitor separate cameras, so you can have multiple cameras and monitor everything using your app. The alerts need to be under, that was what I was trying to say here. How do you connect a new camera? With your comparison analysis, make sure, it was a little bit unclear to me whether those apps, you're using your camera you're using your phone as the camera, or the phone is a device to connect the cameras.
It's on a device to connect to.
Okay, good. So you're actually, okay, good. And those are good comparisons then.
Okay.
And you might dive a little bit deeper to see what some of those strengths and weaknesses are.
Okay.
But I think if I were you, I would, in light of what we've talked about, modify your flow chart, and then I want to see you drop some user scenarios.
Okay.
Think about how you would go check on your camera. Check on one of your cameras. How do you set up a camera? What would the screen look like in those moments of time? And do what Olivia has done.
Okay.
That's where you need to go next. And then start thinking about your interface. You can start playing with that as well.
Okay.
But it's coming along. It's looking really good.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you too. Who's next? Matt, are you set? Okay. Oh, you did. And it's not really making you stuff. Oh, okay. Right or left? See, I don't actually. I have to pass it to Emily. So the system is really wrong because when it says this I-1831 system, you're welcome to the section government if you want, but the computer sees it as you're trying to say this is power. So you imagine. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Because there's one credit, I encourage people to take multiple of them. Yeah. So, yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, I think it's a good one. But go ahead.
Okay.
Ooh, I like your logo.
Thanks. So I came up with the idea for an application that will record like all of your physical activity on it, like if you're trying to work out, and record like that stuff. Because I see people at the gym who like have notepads with them and stuff like that sometimes, and I mean that's great, but I'm not going to carry a notepad around when I go to the gym, so I always have my phone with me though. So the idea is it would not only record everything, but it would also kind of tell you like the amount of calories you're burning per exercise, and you could also input like the food that you're eating too. So it could tell you calories in versus calories out, which I think would be really useful for some people who like to count that. I don't like, and I don't have the time to figure it out, which is why I think it would be neat for an app to just kind of tell you. The other thing I think would be nice for it to have like would be kind of almost an encyclopedia of different workouts that you can do for different muscle groups. And the reason behind like I want to add that is because so when I get to like there's a certain view that I want to have for the app, like a calendar view that it'll show all the days that you've worked out, and it'll give you little badges for like the different muscle groups or type of exercise that you did each day. So it'll be really easy to just look at and just be like, oh, this is the day I did legs and shoulders and whatever. So I did some like research of the competitor stuff, and I noticed that a lot of that stuff doesn't include like all the aspects that I've had. It's either just one that they've done, or okay. There's one that shows you different exercises. I think there's one that kind of like records the stuff that you do, but none that have calories in versus calories out, something like that. So let's see, did I miss anything? I don't think so. Let me look at this now. So this is a mock-up of the calendar that I was talking about. The days that you work out would be lit up, and they would have a little like icon of what you did that day. It's really simple. I kind of like thought about where the buttons would be, but I didn't really mock those up too much yet. I was more focused on this part. So yeah, let me go to the other view. I started with the phone view, so we'll be like whenever you get into the app, it would just boom, like have the calendar already, and then if you click on a day, it would like drop down and like show all the stuff you did that day, I guess, like a list. So, oh, that's weird. So yeah, and then a menu up top where you could pull it down and you get to the other thing like the diet menu and the calorie counter, I guess.
So what do you guys think?
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
I am like, I'm one of the runner and I'm not really good about doing weights. So I go to boot camp class and I just do what they tell me to do. And then I go to the gym myself. I'm like, I should do those weights.
Right.
I don't like know where to begin.
Yeah.
That kind of hurts. So,
Yeah.
So I would need like, hey, here's a suggestion, 10 minutes. You could do this, and this.
Right. I think I might have written that down actually.
And also, like, tapping into the database of demonstrations of how to do the exercise and pointers. Like, here's where you should be doing it. Make sure that you don't do this, and watch a short video. I mean, Matt, I think you have such. I think that you should simplify and focus just on the workout aspect.
Okay.
Because if you look at some of those apps that are like weight loss apps, they have such a robust database of foods, and then you can scan foods that will like.
Yeah.
It just
that's been
let
done.
somebody else do it.
Right.
You focus on the workout thing.
Yeah.
Make all of the cool features because here we're telling you we just want something to help us with our workouts and we don't have that.
Yeah.
So I think if you just focus on that part of it.
I mentioned right here it says so based on the exercises and food you eat, the app would like generate a smart suggestion that would be like, oh, well, you haven't, ran in a little while. You've been doing all this other stuff. Maybe you like, do this.
And I think it can tell a part of each exercise if you do it for so many minutes, then it will give you an estimate of how many calories you burn. That's great. And that person that is keeping track of their calorie consumption in another app, they can use that. Like, okay, I worked out this morning. I burned so many calories. They could use that information somewhere else. But I think just having the access to the library of exercises and keeping track of, you've been doing your legs a lot lately, maybe you should think about upper body exercises.
Right.
I think that's robust enough.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be too overwhelmed trying to tie into all of these other.
Yeah. I hear you. I understand. I thought about that too, but I just was thinking a lot. I came up with this all last night, to be honest.
Also, this calendar, it looks cool at this scale, but think about how many pixels you have across here, and then you have to divide it by 7 for days of the week. So then, those tiny little icons that are going to go into those 7 squares, they're going to be like pinpricks. I don't know if you have enough pixels in this area to be able to really even render that.
I gotcha.
So you might think about displaying the calendar in a manner that's a little bit more mobile friendly.
Yeah, so smaller. Maybe just do the lights, or whenever you click on the day that's lit up, then you can have the icons down by where the list is.
Or just show each vertical row being the day.
Mhm.
You know, you don't need that, like Monday could be a real tiny sliver,
Yeah.
and you have your icons located, and I could probably see about 2 weeks at a time if it were divided horizontally
Mhm. That's
for
true.
each day. So you need to think about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself here because you're so visual and you like to do graphic stuff.
Yeah.
But what I want you to do is get a little bit more precise about
Got it.
exactly what this app will do.
Yeah.
Revise some of your writing. I want you to go through that process of the competitive analysis and then work on your flow chart.
Definitely.
And so you put this aside for a second.
Got
because
it.
this is going to have, it's going to change shape once you get a closer definition
Right.
of what it's going to do.
Right. Absolutely.
But think about, you know, Olivia and I will give you some user scenarios.
Yeah.
This is for the lazy woman who
Right.
comes in and doesn't want to work out.
That's
I need
perfect.
that. Like,
Yeah.
But it's a good idea.
We all need that. Okay.
Mr. T, you ready? Oh, he can just leave it plugged in.
Pretty good. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna unplug it
Do you
then.
mind if I run through that? Because I'm feet in my hands. Okay. I'm really not interested. Okay, yeah, I don't embarrass you or anything, but I've got some ideas. I did? Really? Good.
Right in time too. Like I was just stressing out yesterday about graduating. Like, no, what do I do? Okay, which do I put in this one?
Yeah, yeah.
I just cracked up because I gave him the flash drive that has the stuff I'm working on this film, and it's all like satanic ritual things and stuff. And I'm like really not into that. But
It sounds scary.
I know it's like you should see what happens to your Facebook newsfeed when you start researching satanic rituals.
At my Google search feeds, I sometimes go back and look at it.
Okay, so.
How do I get my spelling clear? I'm looking. Pretty tiny today.
Okay, so I decided that I wanted to do a songbird teaching app.
That is hilarious. Okay.
and I'm going to call it Cockatoo. And play off the cockatiels. And it's basically going to be an iPad tablet app design.
Okay.
The reason why is because I feel like if anybody's going to leave a application running for a bird to learn from, it probably will not be a phone, it'll be a tablet. Also, with the objective being, the purpose of this iPad app is to encourage youth who own songbirds to teach and share their own songbird talents on social media platforms through the use of the Cockatoo app. The target audience is ages 8 through 18, young pet owners of songbirds looking to teach and share their birds' speaking and singing talents on a social media platform, and collect from a database of other birds for teaching their bird new song and phrases. There's a secondary target audience, which are adult pet owners. This app can be used by an adult pet owner who loves teaching and showcasing their pet bird. However, this app is designed to appeal to a youth market through its social media offerings. The competitive analysis is that this app is unique because it's different than the only one app that's out there, which is allowing for each songbird pet owner to share a unique, mine can show the different phrases and let them share it as a collection of lessons and entertainment. They will also be able to feature their songbird singing and talking talents and collect from others, so it's like a sharing program more. The best feature is that they can do that, and they can also showcase their bird because it has a video application onto its own social media platform, because if there's children who are under 14, they need to be protected inside the app as a share, but then I want to have it linked to where if you wanted to just show that little blurb of your bird singing on your Facebook page, you could. And that would actually draw more people to want to download the app, because they would, just like any of the other little apps that you can share on Facebook, it connects you to downloading it. Most applications for training songbirds, they only offer a recording of your own voice and enables you to do a repetitive, time-based feedback. And there's no interactivity features to connect through any social media platform or collecting of other people with different phrases and different songs from different birds. So this is kind of it. And literally it is like a timer, like you record like pretty bird, and then you set a timer, and then it'll say it for however long you're asking it to do it, to teach the bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. And I guess you could record a bird that you have the app in your hand and you go up to, but you don't get to share it, and you don't get to go to a collection or database for other phrases. So I haven't done very much. I wanted to get a feedback before I really went into the wireframing stuff, but I wanted to give what the description look and feels. So my inspiration was to just, for my own pet cockatiel Flirty. So it's a traditional coloring of this breed of bird, which is yellow, orange, and gray. And the design will feel for the UI to keep it very simple. For this target audience will be a very young market. So colorful, but very big buttons and very simple design. So that's all I have for that. Just wanted to get some feedback before I really.
Yeah,
Huh? It'd be really cool. Do you have birds? Does anybody have songbirds? Oh, so yeah, I do. I have a cockatiel. Yeah, we have a cockatiel that looks just like that. That's 24.
is this your idea?
Yeah.
That I gave you?
No,
Oh.
no.
Anybody else have any comments?
I mean, the thing about teaching a bird is that you have to do this interaction and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. So when apps came out, I looked to see if there was any, and there were like 2, and now there's only 1. And it still is like, you have to give up your phone and let it repeat and repeat. So that's why I said tablet, because I'm like, no, I don't want to give up my phone but I could maybe, I mean, I'm thinking a kid would probably set up their timer and let their iPad play, and it can be powered up, and their little bird can have that do it. But the main thing was being able to like sort of record and then let it be able to take the audio and make it a file. and then you can collect that. But there's this entertainment factor to it, so it's just showcasing. It has an interactivity.
Well, I think this is even cooler than what you're saying because people remember the videos. Like people make money on YouTube, right? Posting
Right.
their stupid pet videos.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's just a niche market.
this could help you facilitate your own. I think it needs to have a YouTube channel connection.
Yeah, I
Where
thought
you can
that
build
that
your
would
channel.
the YouTube, like if it creates it as a video through YouTube, but then you can share it in your Facebook. Now the deal is that with young children, they're not on Facebook if they're under 14. So I wanted to be able to let that YouTube be the container that goes into the app for sharing.
Okay.
But that the app itself would generate the audio file that then they're repeating. I mean, I guess in a way they could continue to loop a video, a YouTube video. However, I think that would take more battery.
No, I'm talking about once your bird masters it.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
you record it.
Right.
And, you record your bird. So this is like the training and promotion app for your.
Yeah, it's a showcase.
Right, because
Training and
people
showcasing.
are like showcasing. So you could probably watch the videos within the app,
Right.
but then also it'll help you build your YouTube channel because you can just push your video from the app to your YouTube channel or
Right.
Facebook or whatever.
Right.
So I think that part of the selling point of this app is that there are people that are making money on YouTube by having pet video channels.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I mean that could be a way you're trying to justify why this should be produced to someone who's going to help fund this, right? This is part of your proposal.
Oh, right,
I'm
right,
trying
right,
to
right.
give you
Oh, I
some-
see what you're saying.
some material to say like
Oh,
this
okay.
is why people are going to want this app because people are building stupid pet channels. You can throw in a quote about YouTube pet channels and how much money they're making. You're trying to create a compelling case to
Okay.
whoever is funding this app development about why this app is going to be awesome and
Okay.
bananas. And you have a great perspective. You've been looking for these apps for the last how many years?
Yeah.
So-
Well, you could put a CD on,
Right.
but that's not as fun.
And this is and then when you were talking about the training aspect of it, and basically the one app you showed us is just you can set a timer and it repeats things over and over again.
That you record your voice.
Yeah, but maybe this app is more robust in the sense that I don't know anything about how to train a bird to talk, but probably you want to do it, play this video or play this audio file of your voice 100 times every day for 30 days or something, and maybe it helps you keep track of what you've taught your bird to do. Like this is, what I mean? So maybe it helps facilitate the training of your bird.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In a more like kind of like logging your workouts. You log like I'm working on teaching my bird to say hello, beautiful, and here's where I am in my training process. On Monday, I played the recording 100 times for 30 minutes, and then also maybe it has some guidance in terms of if you want. Typically, it takes a bird this many times.
What do you think about this? What if it actually, the app itself, actually monitors how many times you've read a lesson through your bird, and then after they've done 100 lessons, they get a badge when you record that comes up on their video that says that this bird has been in this many hours of training, and here's its progress. So it has like an award system because kids could relate to that sort of like, and it would be teaching sort of the concept of lesson you learn musically, or you learn languages through practice, not through just immediate action. That might be a really neat feature.
I think that I'm probably encouraging you to go more robust than everybody else. And simplify.
Well, this is the simplest idea I've come up with, and now you listen to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm like this could be huge. But
no, it's a cute app
because it is so specific. And it's just going to be more of a challenge trying to explain and diagram how all of these different tasks are going to work.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do any. Because I was like, okay, I wanted to see, should I do what it was doing? Like,
your user scenarios.
The user scenarios.
I would first start with your flow chart and
Okay.
trying to figure out, okay, I log in.
I do have a rough flow chart, kind of like how the data gets saved and stuff, but I wanted to kind of hear if there were things I need to eliminate before I really laid it out. But it sounds like I need to kind of add a little.
Well, I don't think you need to add a little, but I think it could be really cool if you did, because
Okay.
then you would make a really strong case. Because what you've shown us so far is basically like a timer thing that repeats audio
Yeah,
phrases.
that's all that's offered.
Right, and then maybe with the social media video thing, like you want to create videos to kind of show what my bird can do. So that might be one section, show off my bird, and you create videos and then you tag them or whatever, and you store them in an app. And then there's an option, push to YouTube, push to Facebook, and that's all there is.
That's
to
it.
that.
Yeah, right.
So
That's
keep
what I
it-
see.
keep it really,
That's what
really
I see with
simple.
that. Very simple, like you, just like with Facebook, you know, like it's a share. Well, that could be just easy. That's easy enough to say, okay, it's sharing to either a social platform that you've logged in on with it or YouTube. I mean, you're using YouTube to put the content in the app itself. So then it's just about pushing it to your page,
Right.
not necessarily like going there, but just pushing
Right,
it there.
exactly.
And then, you know, how funny would it be to Twitter it?
Yeah, I know. And like Etsy lets you do that too. When you create a new listing, it says, okay, you want to share with your friends on Facebook, on this and that, and you just say yes, 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 and they're all connected. And it tweets it out that, you know, there's a new design. You just posted.
Okay.
In terms of the visual, can you do that other screen real quick?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's a mock-up.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just doing coloring. It's
I know you're having fun with it. I would take this to, when I look at this, it kind of reminds me of like hipster, sort of urban outfitters, kind of like real quirky hipster look. And I mean, it is funny. It's a bird that's like, huh? You know, I mean,
yeah, he's pretty. But
push in that direction.
okay.
Your colors are quirky. The title cockatoo is quirky.
Yeah.
I mean, even think about maybe integrating, maybe make the O bigger than the rest of them, and the bird that poking through.
Okay.
Push it in the direction of this is quirky. I mean,
It
think
is.
about it.
Oh, yeah, it's quirky.
It's quirky. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, when you say train your songbirds, just the type that you're using, and then it goes to that very formal serif. Every design decision you make should have that quirky spirit to it.
Okay.
Still usable, but you have such a strong concept.
Uh-huh.
Keep reminding yourself of that when you get to the interface design point. But for the next couple of days, I would encourage you to think through your flowchart, think through your user scenarios, and then you've got some preliminary ideas of what the graphics are going to look like, and then you can polish
Okay.
those up.
All right.
So you have a great path.
Okay, good. Good to know.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
I really hope that this piece becomes a good piece for your portfolios too. You know, I mean, I think that when you put it all together, think about it as a package. And remember you're writing who you're writing for. You're writing for someone who's going to fund this. So it shouldn't be like, I want to do this app because I want this. It should be about, you know, this app will do blah, 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 blah. And this is why it's going to be so great. And get someone excited about it and like, yes, I want to pay your company $20,000 to build it. Or I want 10% ownership or whatever. You're on Shark Tank, right? You're trying to get someone to get really excited about your idea. Okay, so it's a persuasive writing exercise. And it's much more persuasive if you can outline the reasons as to why this is a compelling project as opposed to, I just sort of like that, and I feel that, you know what I mean? Okay, so think about that as you're writing. Okay, so we have a few more critiques. Make small progress, take advantage of all of these critiques. Get it, you know, keep pushing forward because these are improving as we go along. And I will see you guys at 8:30 on Saturday morning.